Hello.
Hi Project Dragonflies. This video will depict a case study of rapid evolution in a predator-free conservation haven.
We will look at the example of the northern quoll, a carnivorous marsupial native to Australia.
Northern quolls are nocturnal predators that survive on an omnivorous diet of insects and invertebrates, as well as fruit and carrion. They reach sexual maturity at 1 year of age. Surprisingly, males do not survive to breed a second year due to the considerable energy spent fighting other males during breeding season. When breeding season ends, the population is comprised mostly of females and their offspring. Females den in various log and tree hollows, or rock crevice. The lifespan of female quolls is 2 to 3 years.
Northern quoll populations are under major threat due to feral cat and dingo predation, and are also susceptible to being poisoned by invasive cane toads. In addition, they are suffering loss of habitat to agriculture and urban development.
In 2003, 64 northern quolls were moved to the Australian offshore islands of Astle and Pobosu. These havens were free from dingoes and feral cats. What transpired, however, surprised conservation managers. In less than 13 generations, researchers found that the quolls had lost their anti-predator traits. Researchers tested the responses of wild populations and that of island populations to olfactory cues of dingoes and feral cats. Unlike the wild mainland populations, island populations showed no aversion or even recognition of predator scent. No longer able to evade dingoes, this made them ineligible for reintroduction programs.
So why did the quolls lose their anti-predator traits? What selection was so strong that removing anti-predator traits resulted?
Turns out that with no predators around to control quoll populations, the quolls quickly overpopulated. Within 4 years the carrying capacity of the habitat was exceeded. That meant that competition for resources now became the dominant natural selection force.
When there are no predators present, individuals that continued to restrict foraging time, a behavior that formerly would have kept them safe from predation, now found themselves at a competitive disadvantage to individuals that foraged with abandon. Traits such as shyness, vigilance, and caution were now a disadvantage. Those individuals were selected against, and rapid evolution ensued.
This example is important for conservation managers to consider when planning translocation efforts to save a species. Without consideration of evolutionary forces acting upon selection in havens, the very havens themselves may wind up being a threat to the conservation of the species in the wild.